And we're in game. It's a brand new best of three as we continue on here in the brackets. Nerchio versus Harstem. Probably one of these better matches that I would have expected to be in, one of the semifinals or the finals, but we've got so many players today. I think Swade told me there's like 17-something players with WCS points. Lots of good matches going on today. Big shout out to all the Liquid boys we see in the brackets too, TLO and Rat and others. But focusing on the match at hand, in the bottom right corner of the map, he plays for Invasion Esports. It's going to be the red Protoss player, Harstem.
In the top right, as the blue Zerg, it's Nerchio.
So, we're kind of right in the skin, sorry, not the skin, pardon me, the portrait hype train. But I want to talk about something here about it. The first time someone says, can we get it as an add-on when we have already pledged? If you guys don't understand what I'm saying, if you've already pledged to this point and you've given $5 or more, you're automatically qualified for it. So if you have, let's say you wanted the slippers and you put the $60 or $70 towards that, you're already good to go. But, I guess, yeah, I guess a little bit of behind-the-scenes stuff going on. But I was gonna say, what I like about this, and I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, guys, and don't start thinking like this, that, and the other. It's nothing close to skins, but something like a customizable portrait. This is new. This is a breakthrough. This is something Blizzard's never really done before outside of their own special crazy events like a BlizzCon type thing. So, can you imagine like something where you're like, oh, I want a David Kim portrait on sale, $3, Blizzard Christmas sale, stuff like this, right? It's silly. It sounds goofy. But it could be what leads to eventual microtransactions that everyone's been begging for. Maybe it's just something that stays forever free, but through tournament organizers only. I don't know. Either way, it's a big way for fans, I think, to connect and represent the tournaments they love and are involved with, and the casters or teams or whatever for support. Like, how cool would that be to have a straight-up Millennium logo or portrait or something, Like, it's... Anyways, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but I'm just super geeking out about it because I like the cool potential of what could come, and I love that we get to be the first ones who do it.
Yeah. Yeah. 30 people have already bought it. Or,
oh, wow.
Sorry, 15 people have already... No, wait. I can't do math. Damn it. More people have bought in this portrait already.
Yeah, so anyways, I hope you guys will enjoy it. We put a preview link of what the portrait's going to look like, and I think it's going to look quite good. Anyways, folks at the game at hand, Nerchio does get a couple lanes into the base. Gonna get that scouting. I don't think this is anything too insane. Harstem is typically somebody who, when he wants to cheese, he's pretty good at hiding it. I mean, for anything else that we know Harstem, whether it's macro or micro, one of the things I always give him credit for is he's never too obvious with his builds. Big example of this is like in his PvT more than anywhere else, but even his PvZ, he's gonna be the last person to put like 7 gateways on the front door.
Well, it's really hard to do. You only have so much space.
Well, you can make it happen if you try hard enough, okay, Zombie Grub?
Oh, okay.
You ever heard of double layering?
That's how I defend against those bailing busts that are so common in PvZ.
No, I meant Nerchio goes 2 layers because he misclicks.
Oh, the pun. Anyways, so, it is still a 4-gate, though. 4-gate off of 1 gas.
Yep.
Hey, it's going to be an attack. And Nerchio does not know this.
Yeah,
well, he might have figured it out.
Well, he saw 2 gates in the wall, but that's not so abnormal. The question is whether the Overlord, I guess, was going to be able to get in and see anything sooner. Now, Nerchio does have units on the way, but he's kind of splitting, right? Like, it's a couple of drones here, some more lings, a couple of drones here, some more lings. He's really going to be relying on the Spine Crawler and the Queens for doing most of the work, but... yeah, Harstem can't really move out with the small amount of units he has just yet. He's got to get that second warp in at least. Back at home, he did leave a Zealot and a Sentry, so it's not like these lings are going to break through too easily either.
Well, they saw how many gateways were there, and they know what's up, even if they haven't scouted the pylon yet. That would have been nice, but having speed already, having that Spine Crawler and Queen to fall back to, I think Nerchio deals with this okay. He really is trying to find that pylon, though, and he's going the entirely wrong direction. No, to the right, Nerchio. To the right. Well, it's getting more and more awkward, I guess. Because the thing is that usually if you've already made them start the attack, you've already found where the pylon is, and they're like, oh shit, I've been found out. To not have found the pylon, and to like, time goes on, and start questioning if they're really going to do the attack, and you start getting complacent, and then you make 10 drones, look at that. That's a problem. So now Harstem can move in. He's warped in over there like, 5 different times, and he has a sizable force, but those lings are now out of position. And his Roach Ward isn't done. He's getting 6 more Lings to defend at home. That's not a lot.
Yeah, back home, by the way, for Harstem, still doesn't have a lot of defense either, but Nerchio's not going to risk the base trade, I guess, this early. He knows that he's got to get back here to defend. Harstem, actually, by blowing Guardian Shield, doesn't really have any force fields available for this, so just going to dedicate to the hatchery. No, it turns around, starts killing drones, starts killing Lings. I mean, Zealots are really good after all, but Mothership Core burns the Time Warp, so no recall available. But even so, this dedication is already chewed through the Lings. The Zealots are badly damaged, but they're still standing, and while Roaches start popping, this hatchery could still go down. Harstem has enough energy for Force Field, by the way. Oh, could have kept this from getting in here.
A little disappointing. Because now, like, what is it gonna do? I guess if
he can keep that Mothership Core alive, he can recall it. Just, like, run it to, I don't know, limbo space.
Well, it's Iron Fortress, so there is no limbo space. Not back there, anyway.
Well, there's no queen. Yeah, but there's no queen in the main, is what I meant. So he could have flooded.
Okay, well, he probably thought there was. So.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
He has to remake it. That's 100 gas. That is kind of suck because it's just, it would have had no energy if it was if it recalled. But I think right now it's more about like keeping those resources alive and well. Harstem tries to get a third behind this, but that's not gonna get up. Even if it did, no points would overcharge, so it would have been hard to keep up anyways. I mean, if he gets it up, that's like, it might be like kind of a death sentence for Nerchio. He's only at 31 drones. This is like kind of an all-in.
Yeah, it's cause and effect. I mean, Harstem caused enough damage, which affected Nerchio, I guess. He did go for Burrow earlier. I was wondering if this was gonna come into play sooner or later, but unfortunately, he doesn't have that mass Roach Swarm to really take advantage of this. Like, maybe he'll burrow and heal a couple units here and there, deny a kill for a time, but Harstem's getting cannons, he'll eventually have observers out, and the small amount of units Nerchio has to cause damage, because, as you pointed out, his drone count's really low, and he's not building new drones anytime soon.
Yeah, 2 are on the way. Like, woo, let's get started. But those Roaches, I mean, if they had immediately attacked the Nexus, that was their first goal, they might have gotten it down. They might have gotten it down to low health at least, but now it's up. It's gonna have some cities. It's gonna have an overcharge. He's still trying to take on the army, and he's getting a couple units here and there, but not even like the really important ones, the sentries. New server's gonna come out soon. It's gonna be the end of the Burrow shenanigans. The only thing it's been, he really has going for him.
The shenanigans, they're illusions, Dad.
Not the quote.
I know. I'm modifying it for the situation.
Oh, there's the observer. So Roaches that were, I guess, spotting for whatever reason. Maybe he probably burrowed them and they couldn't leave. But
I didn't realize this just now. But he was like, he's very much on purpose investing melee upgrades behind this. So Nerchio still is. He's kind of playing the long game off the back end of this, and I don't know if he'll be able to. I mean, lots of Lings are better than Stalkers. Lots of Lings are better than most things. Late game Broodlords and Ultralisks tend to be beast mode, but will Nerchio get to that point? On one hand, he might know that Harstem wants to play more passive and says, you know what, Harstem's not one to capitalize on quick damage like this. Maybe playing a little bit paranoid. A couple of Roaches his way once every 2 minutes will keep him on edge. But I mean, this is still kind of a risky tech path to take.
Yeah. Well, he's really just gonna, it looks like, because he's not journeying again, he's stuck at 41, that he's gonna get Roach Speed and Carapace. And he's just gonna try and tear down Harstem, like his army, his Nexus, like everything, like end the game, effectively. I mean, it's a pretty late all-in. It's hard to attach the word like that to it, but it's kind of what it is. And Harstem's job right now is to buy time if he really needs it, and that's what the War Prism is for, and to get Immortals, get better upgrades, get more units in general.
Nerchio just hit his whole army, by the way. This is actually pretty sick. Okay, so there's going to be a warp in the main. We'll see if production's going to be able to deal with this. Nerchio has gotten to this point where he's massed up a pretty scary looking army. Harstem has gone purely into weapon upgrades, has no armor, so the Lings will get some damage done guaranteed. But they are weak, they're flimsy, and force fields will shut them down pretty easily, so sometimes easier said than done.
Oh, I think this is going to be one of the easier holds Harstem has made on Iron Fortress. This is usually a very difficult space to keep the third alive.
I truthfully thought Nerchio was going to bait out the attack and then actually dedicate to the third, but instead he almost over-dedicates that fake out. Gets this right on the Nexus, though. This should probably go down. This is a good way to get back into it, but back at home, he still hasn't cleaned up these Zealots. He's still taking damage from that War Prism.
Yeah, that's still not enough. Roach Speed finishes as the attack is already over. Not very helpful there. And plus, Carapace never finished either, and he's got nothing but Lings. Yeah, that's going to be That was like one desperate attack. Did not work.
It had to be done, though. It had to be done. What else can you do, right? Just sit back and wait to die? I mean, I like the idea of trying to move out, trying to